Hear an introduction from retired Lieutenant General K Chaturvedi. Lieutenant Chaturvedi, if you could please.
Uh, I, you want me to introduce myself,
Yes, please. We'd love that.
Adele?
Yes, please. Well, I will introduce you actually. And we'll do
I'm
it. He's a
no,
transit.
I'm Lieutenant K Chaturvedi. I superannuated from the Indian Army in 2011. I was last. I'm an artillery officer. Last was my appointment was Director General Manpower Planning and Personal Services at the Army headquarters, and thereafter I've been also guest speakers in JNU, India International Center, or Delhi University, Indian Institute of Science. All these places I've been talking on various subjects related to international relations, national security. These are the things on which I do talk. Uh, Today it was great hearing Dr. Abrams, and I look forward to hearing Clifford, my colleague, Kan Srivastav. Adele, you have been very, very uh, generous, and you have been very, very good in comparing this event. I also thank Utsav Chakravarti, who has been very kind enough to invite me for this webinar. It's a great pleasure for me today to be amongst the best minds on the subject related to national security, counter-terrorism, terrorism, and international security also. The topic today is dismantling the global terror, India's operational Sindoor. The both are very much linked. They are very relevant. What happened on 22nd April, which Adele had just talked about at Pelgaum, Western Valley, where 26 unarmed, innocent civilians were killed. And the worst was that they were asked to identify themselves with religion. They were asked to recite Kalma and even undress themselves to prove their identity as a religion class. So this is what has happened. It is the worst type of cowardly act that was perpetrated on our Indians on 22nd April. That had to be responded to, and the culprits and the perpetrators had to be punished. What our Prime Minister and the Defense Minister uh, very, very clearly stated, that it will be unimaginable punishment that we will make to these perpetrators and their responses, which I'm so happy to hear Max, who said that there's no doubt that it is from Pakistan. So one is happy that the acceptance of Pakistan as a hub of terror is being accepted the world over. And those who really have knowledge are acknowledging it. Uh, Thereafter, and you see the timing of the attack on these innocent civilians, it was when our prime minister was away of the country, out of the country, and he was in Saudi Arabia. The vice president of the United States was in our country. He was on a visit. The tourist season had just picked up in Kashmir, and our very sacred religious yatra, that is the Amarnath yatra, was just about 2 months away. So this was to deter, cause disharmony between the communities in India, and all those things. It is to the strength of our Indian Prime Minister and the Indian nationals that nothing like that happened. We ensured that no communal disharmony was resolved. In fact, the parliamentary delegation, which Max was just talking about, they all included the member of parliament from that very community and represented, and they were from, most of them were from opposition parties. So this is our strength, and this is what we made it very clear, that those who are responsible for this, who have sponsored these, and which Pakistan undoubtedly it is, from all these acts of terror are coming from. In fact, not only against India, anywhere in the world, any act of terror has a linkage to Pakistan. That there no doubt Osama bin Laden was found just about 2 kilometers away from their Pakistan military academy. So that people must stay unite against such type of anti-terror activities by nations. What has truly disappointed all of us as Indians, and I'm sure most of the right-thinking people across the world, that during that phase after the Pahalgam attack, the IMF approved loans to this country which is sponsored. Unless we unite, unless we ensure that each and every one does their duty, do not permit any of such loans to be sanctioned to such countries, put them under watch. They should be in the gray list, they should be in the black list, then only things will. It has to be the word united effort. Now, after what happened, can you imagine there were couples which were on their honeymoon 6 to 7 days into their marriage and they killed the male and told the lady, she also said, shoot me also. And what they said was, go and tell Modi that I have killed. This is how they have told Modi, and Modi ji has responded with the total strength and conviction that at his disposal. This is what we prepared ourselves. We launched operation against the terrorist. We were very clear that our actions were against the terrorist, not against any civilians, not against the Pakistan military. We acted against the terrorists, their camps, their hideout, their logistics systems, their training establishment, their radicalization centers, and their headquarters. And hit with precision, accuracy, and effect. Almost 100 plus terrorists were killed. All the 9 terrorist camps out of the 16, which were in the last shortlisted, out of which some were vacated by them. So 9 were left. Acted for the world to see. It was extremely effective with our missile systems without crossing the line of control or the international border. They, beyond visual range, ammunition and missiles were used. We destroyed that. The effect was extremely effective. Pakistan was made very clear by our foreign secretary, who in his briefing clearly spelled out that our response was measured, it was proportionate, it was non-escalatory and responsible. We were responsible. We did not go for any military targets or civilian targets. We did not hit. We hit precisely only the terrorist camps, their training centers, their logistic support system, and their headquarters. Of course, as it was quite expected, every one of us was expecting the Pakistan, because Pakistan truly, the armed forces run the government. And the armed forces are a rogue army today. It's not a professional army. Any professional army would not indulge in the cowardly acts that they do. Of course, the response was there, and they responded on our civilian targets, on our temples, on our gurdwaras. This is what they responded, and then the escalation had to take place. We had to respond. We responded with alacrity, precision, and for effect. We again destroyed their air defense system, the radar system. And thereafter, when they again came for some military targets on 8th, 9th, the 9th, 10th night, it's all, the world knows it, how effective our uh, operations against those 11 airfields, which included Noor Khan, Jacobabad, which included Pasrur, Sakur, Bahawalpur, Skadu. So all these important. We made all these 11 airfields of Pakistan ineffective, and I'm sure it'll take some time for them to make it operational. It has been a very, very accurate. I think it is the for any military man, it was a dream come true. Uh, the strategy, the deception, the precision, the weapon system that were used, the technology, indigenous weapon system, our Akash, our BrahMos, they played merry hell into the Pakistan. And the will to fight, it was hit against the will to fight of Pakistan Army. They succumbed, they requested for ceasefire with the DGM of Indian Army, and after the approval at the highest level, it was accepted. On 10th, we accepted to hold Operation Sindoor for the time being. Let me tell you, my dear friends, that Operation Sindoor today is on hold. It has not been called off. And we will respond. We have laid down certain doctrines now for the future. The Prime Minister has made it very, very clear that any act of terror will be considered as an act of war. Those who are sponsoring any act of terror will be linked to the sponsors also. That means if we get some terrorist action, which something like that, what happened at Pahalgam, it will be linked to Pakistan. There will be zero tolerance for terror, and we will not accept the nuclear blackmail. What Max was talking about nuclear aspects of Pakistan, I beg to, with in all humility, beg to differ. We are not going to accept it. We will go to any extent. Let him. If Pakistan tries to even use one tactical nuclear weapons, that will be the end of Pakistan. So let it be very clear, and that is the reason why Pakistan will not use it. As far as for future, the timelines and the guidelines are extremely clear. No talks and terror, no trade and terror. There will be no blood and water. The Indus Water Treaty will be made more effective. We will not give water and get our people killed. These two things will not happen. This is Indus Water Treaty was signed when in goodwill, in harmony, as a gesture of friendship. But if you do not accept those goodwill, harmony, and the gesture of friendship, you don't deserve the water. These are things we are, apart from what Max was talking, we have not given adequate punishment. I think it is adequate. Apart from the military action, there are many more things which have happened. The IWT, Indus Water Treaty, is one. Diplomatic, what these delegations and others have done. And also technological, we have achieved a great superiority. The world will like to study. It will be a case study, this operation, how without crossing the international border or the line of actual contour, we have given the message, the strongest message to Pakistan, that any act of this type, we will not going to tolerate, and we will respond. Sindoor is culturally, traditionally, is the soul of India. It may be a small thing, but when it comes to our traditions, our thing, so that is the reason why the complete nation, India, stands together as one. And we have had enough now, almost 37 years. It started sometimes in 88, 89, when they threw the Kashmiri Pandits out of J&K. We are not going to tolerate. We will ensure the sanctity and sovereignty of our country and the people of India. Uh, these were some of the things we can always discuss in the question answer session, the rest of the things. Thank you so much, Adele.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lieutenant General Chaturvedi.